Excuse me. Excuse me. Hello. Hello. Do you know Robina? No. No. Do any of you know Fluanderies? Any Robina fans? No Robina fans? No. You? What about you? Hey, you know Fluanderies?
Hey YouTube, thanks for joining me on the last episode of this season of this series. For today's episode, we will be reviewing everything we have learned playing the Fluanderies deck in a different language. I have prepared my deck list to reveal to you all. We will be doing the card by card and I will be telling you what I think the card does. Now we will be skipping the cards like Effect Veiler, Ash Blossom, Harpy's Feather Duster, the Pots, etc. just because they're kinda obvious at this point in my gameplay knowledge. So we ignore them. Starting at the top, we have Robina, the only one whose name I actually know. Now, what Robina does is I'm pretty sure there's a global little bird Fluanderies effect where when they're banished, they go back to your hand, and when they're summoned, you get an extra normal summon. And I believe they all have their own unique effect. Robina, I believe, searches for a spell trap. Let me pull up my notes. I took notes beforehand. Yes, I believe Robina searches a spell trap, a Fluanderies spell trap. Eagle. I believe the Eagle searches for a tribute monster. I don't know what specifications that has. Probably wind, maybe winged beast. I'm not sure, but it definitely searches some form of tribute monster. The Ostrich. I believe the Ostrich searches another bird, another like Fluanderies card. Not any card, just a monster. The Toucan, I have no idea what the Toucan does. I don't think I ever really used the Toucan. Wind Statue. This, of course, prevents your opponent from special summoning anything but wind monsters. Very annoying. D-Shifter. I figured this one out pretty early. You can't activate it if you have any cards in your graveyard. Other than that, you send it to the graveyard and then it banishes everything for 2 turns, your turn and your opponent's turn, or your opponent's turn and your turn, however it works out. Apex Avian. I'll be honest, I have no idea what the fuck it does. It returns itself to my hand, and to be honest, that's as far as I ever got with it. I didn't see its effect actually do anything other than go to my hand, which wasn't good. I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it does something else. What it is, I don't know. Super Ryza. What Super Ryza does is it can be tributed for a tribute of a tribute. Instead of 2 tributes, you can do a tribute of a tribute to tribute that tribute. And then when it's summoned effect, I believe puts a card back into the deck. M-Pen. I guess I know M-Pen's name too. M-Pen, the old Pengy boy. Now I believe he works differently than all the other Fluanderies monsters. On summon, he searches any... What did I write down for him? Any Fluanderies card from what I can remember. And then you can banish a card in your hand to have an opponent's monster's attack. I believe that's only on attack declaration, but I'm not sure. And I believe this also goes back to your hand if banished. The map, I don't know. I believe it searches for a bird, and it also lets you banish a card in the grave to do something, but I can't remember what it was. This one, whatever one this is, let's see, I couldn't really figure this one out. Every time I played it, I don't think it really did anything. And I just kind of stopped playing it after I couldn't figure it out. And the trap, I'm pretty sure this just lets you summon a monster. And that's as far as I got there. So I didn't really use it too much. 2 extra deck monsters that I weren't super familiar with. Win, I never summoned once. I did summon this Smorg guy once, and I know he's got a bunch of effects, and I thought he was pretty busted. But when I summoned him, nothing happened. And I kind of just needed him to be a beat stick anyway, and it worked out, and I won that game. So I have no clue what any of this guy's effects are. You know, it pretty much worked out. I think we lost all of maybe 1 or 2 matches. Granted, that was in lower right. Can you not move my microphone while I'm trying to record, kitty? And that's pretty much, that's my take on Flunder. I thought it was pretty fun. I don't know why people hated it. Didn't even seem like that good, really. What did I just say? So let's go ahead and get this language switched up. Switch back to English. And let's see how well we did. Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up? Over here now. So, I've changed my language to English. I hope you remember my answers because I will not be going over them again here. We're just going to go right into it. I have assembled all of the important cards that I was curious about their effects for, and we will be seeing how correct or incorrect I was. First card we have is Fluenderies and Robina. Here is what Robina actually does. If this face-up card would leave the field, banish it instead. Had no clue. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. Cannot special summon during the turn you activate. Okay, if it's normal summoned, you can add a level 4 or lower winged beast monster from your deck to your hand. And then immediately after it resolves, you can normal summon 1. Yikes, I was way off. If a winged beast monster is normal summoned, while this card is banished, you can add this card to your hand. So I was wrong on all of the blanket effects that all the Fluenderies have. It's not if they're banished, they go back to your hand. It's if a winged beast monster is normal summoned while it's banished, it goes back to your hand. This does not search a spell trap. This searches any level 4 or lower winged beast monster. So, I mean, I had it vaguely correct, which makes sense. But, you know, we got it wrong. I'm going to put it where it belongs, in the hole. All right, next card we have is Eagle Eglin. What a dumb name. They should have just called it Eagle, man. Okay.
It must be Eagle Man.
I've got something for you.
If it leaves the field, banish it instead. Okay, you can only use the following effects. Blah blah blah. This adds a level 7 or higher, so this does add a tribute. I was actually correct with this one. Then you can normal summon, and if a winged beast is monster, you know, while I was technically incorrect, I do feel more technically correct than technically incorrect. So I'm gonna put it in the hole, but also I feel like I got the dub on that one. I definitely dropped the ball on Robina, but me and Eglin, we kind of clicked a little bit. I knew what was going on there. Toucan. Toucan does the following, you know, the normal stuff, and then you can target a banished Fluenderies card and add it to your hand. That makes sense because I'm pretty sure every time I used it, I tried to use it to start plays, and really it's more of like a, you know, a rebound card. So totally wrong on that guy. What do we got next? We have... Why are you over there? Everybody else was over here in the proper position, Ostrich. But you had to be over on the left for whatever reason, and for that, I pity you. Stree. Instead of Ostrich, just Stree. So what does Stree do? You know, the normal stuff. Okay, and then when it's normal summoned, target one card in either graveyard and banish it. So it's essentially a called by that doesn't negate anything. You know, it's still useful. Probably less useful now with DP not being as prevalent. But you know, whatever. You know, I was wrong. Get out of here, ostrich. Next card, we have M-Pen. I feel like I have M-Pen down. If this card is tribute summoned, you can add 1 spell trap. So that's where I got the spell trap from. M-Pen adds a spell trap to your deck, from your deck to your hand. And then you get to tribute summon. While this card is in the monster zone, your opponent cannot activate the effects of special summon monsters they control in attack position. I didn't even realize that. Wow, that is a lot more powerful than I thought. Okay. And then once per battle during damage calculation, if it battles an opponent's monster, you can banish a card from your hand, and it halves the attack defense. That one I did nail. So again, while I was incorrect for some of it, I was correct for some of it. So spiritually, I feel like I was pretty right. But also, by the rules, it has to go in the hole because I was very wrong. The map. Floowandereeze and the Magnificent Map. I am not confident in this one in the slightest. Let's see what it actually does. During your main phase, you can reveal 1 level 1 Floowandereeze monster in your hand and banish 1 Floowandereeze card with a different name from your deck. Then, immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon the revealed monster. Okay, if your opponent normal summons a monster, immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon 1 Floowandereeze monster. Okay.
So when my opponent normal summons, I can normal summon, and it also lets me normal summon and banish. So I see how the synergy works there. That card, to be honest with you, that's on a whole other level for me. I would need to practice with that card, maybe do some research, figure out like what's the actual place there. I would say maybe like you can get something set up for the toucan, was it? The toucan that grabs stuff from banish, or you know just some of the things that get banished, or I guess well anything. All of the monsters that you banish, you can just normal summon and then get them back.
Okay, so I'm starting to see how everything works here, but of course I was very wrong, so it will go down the drain. And now we have, I don't even know what this one is, and I grabbed the Italian version of the card here, so I can't read it. Let me find it in my deck. It is Floowandereeze and the Unexplored Winds. It's a very pretty card. I'll give it that. It's a beautiful card. You can conduct tribute summons that require 2 tributes by sending 1 monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls to the graveyard instead of tributing. Holy shit! During your main phase, you can reveal up to 2 Winged Beast monsters in your hand and place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw the same number of cards. I thought that's all it did was the second part. I never got to the first part. Holy shit, that is so good. That's a really good card, and I am a fool for not utilizing it properly, but holy shit, I never would have understood that. Now we have the trap that I thought just did one very simple thing. Yep, normal summon, that's what I thought. If you tribute summon a level 7 or higher monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card. Change all monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position. That's pretty cool. That's alright. Definitely never popped that second effect, but I definitely used the first effect and then immediately decided it was bad. Once per chain, when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can target 1 Mist Valley card you control itself. Return that target to the hand, and if you do, negate the activation. So it's just an Omni, and if you do, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So it's an Omni that pops when a card or effect is activated. I'm pretty sure I only ever did this to my own stuff. I never did this in response to anything my opponent did. I only did it in response to my own things. Wow. I played that very wrong. That is also a very good card, and I am understanding why this deck is very busted and people hate it now. It's all making sense. What do we have? Simorghi, Bird of Sovereignty, and I summoned this guy once. He did nothing, and I used him exclusively because I needed 2,400 points of damage to get lethal. And the 3, 600 level power birds on my field weren't doing it for me. So Smurgy, Bird of Sovereignty. What does this do? Cannot be used as link material. Okay, your opponent cannot target this card or a Winged Beast monster this card points to with card effects. That's interesting. If this card would be destroyed by battle, you can destroy 1 other Smurg card you control instead, which that's never happening. During the end phase, you can special summon 1 Winged Beast monster from your hand or deck with a level lower with a level equal to or lower than the total number of unused spell and trap zones on the field. Holy shit, you can only use this effect of Smorgasbord of Sovereignty once per turn. So that explains why I never got to that effect, because I killed my opponent before I could. But now I see, so you summon this guy, and then at the end phase you can summon the barrier statue from the deck. Oh my lord. Okay, yeah, this deck is busted. I played it like a total dum-dum who wasn't reading their cards. And I see that now. And I understand that I really am just clueless. And, you know, sometimes just reading your cards is all it takes to be better at reading your cards. That's gonna do it. Anyway, next week we have Season 2 starting already! Oh my god! I mean, don't expect any of these to be very long. I'm a very switchy type of person. Once I feel like I get the hang of things, you know, I'll probably switch to a different deck. I felt like I had a pretty good grip, but I don't think I ever would have gotten anywhere close to any of those effects without playing hundreds upon hundreds of games, and I am not about that life. So starting next week, we will be running Paleo Frog in the Synchro XZ event. I know what 2 of the Paleo cards do. I don't really know how they work outside of their basic ass effects. I know what Totally Awesome does. I've never read another frog card in my life. And that's about it. So expect that to go swimmingly. And again, that'll be next Thursday. I refuse to give a time because I ain't like that. But it'll be Thursday for sure. Will it be your Thursday or my Thursday? I don't know. Can I just lie about the time zone at will to bend to my desires? Yes. Will I do that? Yes. Should you trust me? No. But anyway, that's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed my stupidity, and hope you got some good laughs out of it. And wow, I feel like a dumbass for never using any of these cards properly. I can only imagine what my opponents thought. Especially the ones that lost. That's got to be the worst. Just watching a dude play like total shit and then still win. I wouldn't know anything about that though. Peace.